Hello, everyone. Who have we got in the chat today? Happy New Year, first of all. It says so on my little hat thingy. I look like a weird alien, but cute. Happy New Year. So we got, let's see, we got Jeremy in the chat. We got Kane in the chat. We've got Chip in the chat. Hi. I just saw you yesterday at the party. That was fun. You're a really good dancer, by the way. I recorded that. Mike is in the chat. Gil or Jill. And that's pretty much everyone right now, I think. How you guys doing? Please let me know. Leon is in the chat. Hi. Hello. This is my background. I've got my little hedgehog plushie and a sign that I used for the climate march. Oh, that says climate justice equals animal liberation, because it should. I'll go like a fish. Go like a fish. That makes sense. Got nerds like us in the chat. You've been in every live stream so far. You're very dedicated. Damn. I have a fan base. Isn't that crazy? So yeah, so my idea for this stream today is to celebrate the year to come, but also look back on the year that we've just had. No, I did not make the painting in the background. This is just a random painting that my grandma got years ago, and she had this in this room, and then I moved into this room, and I just left it because it's nice. It's a nice little landscape thing. You don't see it very well on this camera. But yes, so I have a couple articles lined up with like all the positive things that have happened for veganism and animals in 2023, and also kind of a positive prediction of 2024 and like food trends that we could see and like it. Yeah, so optimistic things. I want to keep this stream mostly optimistic because I know we all need it. 2024 will be one of the years in the history. Sure, of course. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. Yeah, so but before starting with like all the positive things that happened last year, I was thinking maybe I could make it a tradition that every live stream I do, we always start with the Wordle of the day. I hope you guys know what Wordle is. But I often forget to do it, but I love Wordle, and it would be really fun to make it like interactive and have you guys guess words and stuff as a little game to start off the stream. Do we count it as optimistic that Wayne got out of jail? Yes, because he's gonna appeal. He's gonna appeal the case. I don't know what the law lingo is, but I think the plan was to go to jail because now he can appeal the decision that was made, and that's when the real change would happen. I would guess. I'm not a specialist. Your animal toy is staring me down. I can't stop looking at them. Do you guys want me to remove him? His name's Echol, by the way. I got some other like plushies. I got some octopus plushies back here, if I can find them. Give me a second. Oh. I did not mean to drop that. Okay. We got the big one. We got the big octopus one, right? It can also be sad. But today we are optimistic, so we are being happy. All right. I can put them in the background if you guys so wish. Got another happy octopus. And the smallest one that fits on my finger. Look at it. It's my favorite. I'll put them in the background. I'm gonna hope they don't fall. Okay, he's chilling. He's good. That's good to know. Yeah, for Jeremy, it's been a while. A while of what? Your life? Phrase of the day, poopy doopy. Is it? According to what? But yeah, again, my question. Would you guys like to start off the stream with the Wordle of the day, or would you just want to jump into all the positive news that happened last year. Yeah, last year. Oh my god, it was just yesterday, but it's last year. Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. The Leaning Tower of Octopi. Doing Wordle has been a while, yeah. It was like, when did it start being a trend? Was that, like, at the beginning of the pandemic? Like, 2020 or 2021? You suck at Wordle. I mean, I used to be good at it, but I haven't done it in a while either. So, basically, what Wordle is, basically you have, I think it's six chances to guess a 5-letter word. So you start with one word. It can be whatever. Like, you can start with the word learn, and then it tells you what letters in the word learn are in the word that you're supposed to be looking for, and if they're in the right place or not. And then you just keep guessing until you've done all the 6 guesses. If you guess it, then you win. If you don't, then you lose. It's very, very simple. But then I will share my screen and let you guys see. So this is the starting screen. We have 6 chances. Does anyone have a good word that we can start with? A 5-letter word. Usually it should have like a lot of vowels, so we have like the vowels down. Anyone, 5-letter word with a lot of vowels, please. I guess it's like lingo? Perfect. We start with vegan. Thank you, Chip. We start with the word vegan. Press enter and it tells us the letter A is in the word and it's in the right place. If it's green, it's in the right place. Okay. Let's see. What other words have the letter A in the 4th place? Fuck. We got. Oh, I'm a tournament Scrabble player. That's hard for me. What's hard for me is to remind myself that the answer won't be a word with an obscure meaning. Sometimes it's not. Like, the last time I did it, the word was 3. The word was 3, and I had such a hard time to think of it. Very weird. Okay, we got title, we've got viral. The V was already used in vegan, and it wasn't in the word. So let's go with title. Let's try title. Okay, the A and the L. We've got the A and the L now. We got the A and the L. What ends with L? Moral. Yeah, that's a good one. Jeremy's really helping me out here. Fuck, we're so close. Moral. Myral. I think it has to be another vowel. Haven't we used Myral with a Y? Myral. Mural. Yeah, mural. Fuck. I didn't want to look at the comments because I knew you guys would know it before me, but it is mural. Yeah, so that is, yeah, we won, guys. Everyone's very smart here. There's also a kind of Wordle that has like 4 different games going on at the same time, which is called Quordle, which is extra hard because you have like 10 chances to guess 4 5-letter words, and you get like a turn for everyone. Like, it goes like a round. It's very hard, but I like a challenge. No, the Taco Bell failed to notify me of this. The Taco Bell. Damn. The shitty Mexican food, you mean? Yeah, you guys crushed it. Good job. It's really not as people would think. We only needed 4 chances, so that's great. Then I will share my screen to, let's see, 9 positive things that happened for animals in 2023. Yeah. So I thought this is a nice thing to start the year off with, right? Time to celebrate some positive steps forward for animals. Let's see what plant-based news has rounded up for us. The UK moves closer to banning some live exports. Have any of you heard of this before or not? I don't think I have. Maybe vaguely, but I am not very conscious of it. The UK government has promised a lot on improving animal protections and hasn't always delivered, as we know. In May this year, it looked like the government would let down animals again when it dropped the Kept Animals Bill. Banning live exports for some animals was a key part of the bill. Now it has revived hopes for a live export ban by introducing the Animal Welfare Livestock Exports Bill to Parliament on December 5th. So this is very recent. December 5th. The legislation will put an end to the export of cows, sheep, goats, pigs, and horses for fattening or slaughter. Okay. The ban will be far from comprehensive. Exports for reasons such as breeding and competitions will still be allowed, unfortunately. Fuck. And poultry has been left off the bill entirely. I wonder why. I wonder if it's because they're like the most profitable animal to farm right now. Animals are shipped as far afield as Brazil for breeding purposes, so many will still suffer horrendous journeys, but around 500,000 animals a year will be spared by the ban. Yeah, so what do you guys think of this news? Live export banned for some animal situations in the UK. There's a lot of caveats to this bill, isn't there? Unfortunately. Tash got her last video removed for nudity. Yeah, I watched that today. She's badass. I could never do what she does. I would be way too scared. But yeah, she wasn't even naked. I mean, she was as naked as someone wearing a bikini would be because she covered her nipples. So, YouTube. I guess it will reduce the number of animals bred into existence if less exports will happen. Yeah. So breeding falls under the circumstances of which animals would be prevented from being exported. Yeah. So that is correct. I think it is, of course, it's a positive. It's a positive. That's why we're reading it. I feel like they will always find ways around it. If there's enough laws, they won't. And that's why we need more laws surrounding this, even if they're not all encompassing. I suppose that's positive, but I hope number 8 is much nicer. Yeah, me too. People tend to have more empathy for fellow animals, unfortunately. For fellow mammals. Yeah, that's true. YouTube, when people post videos of putting a bolt to the head of a cow. Ignores. YouTube when Tash uploads. Ah, shit. There we go again. Yeah. Double standards, guys. Double standards. This is also the reason that fish aren't protected at all. Yeah. No, fish might be like the least protected domesticated animal in society. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the idea that I got. I don't think I could pull off Tash's outfits though. ICL. What does ICL mean? I don't know that abbreviation. But yeah, neither could I. I would do better. I would do better than Tash. If I went nude into a meat aisle, everyone would run far, far away. Oh, no, don't insult yourself like that, Jeremy. This is 2024 is a year of self-love. I think the trolls do mass reports. The trolls. Oh, yeah, the trolls of Tash. Yeah, of Tash's channel. I can't lie. Oh, ICLS, I can't lie. That makes sense. What a challenge that would be to try to protect fish, but especially like farmed fish, not wild fish. Well, maybe wild fish from being caught, but like farmed fish especially, which is most of the fish that are being sold. If I remember correctly, again. Yeah, she does have a lot of trolls. Yeah. If you like, she has a decent, like a very decent size channel, so of course she's gonna have a lot of trolls. But especially because her content is very controversial, to say the least. It makes the news. It gets media coverage and everything, and it's often like sometimes it's the first thing that non-vegans see about veganism. That is where I'm like, is that a good thing or not? I don't know. I mean, it's better than nothing. But yeah. They should rename the meat aisle to the death aisle. They should rename lots of things. Everything. They should call it like a McDonald's burger, like a McMurder burger. So Her whole town hates her, though. I feel bad. Like, in this last video, she cried at the end, and she's a very, like, I can tell she's a very sensitive person, and she's just trying her best to do what she believes in, and I respect that a lot. Um, what do people here think about that vegan teacher, by the way? I think we all have, opinions. Like, personally, I agree with her message, but, like, I'm gonna be very stereotypical and say that I don't agree with the way that she communicates the message. But, like, she has gathered a huge following, you know? So you can say all press is good press. Like, I don't even know. I know a lot of people whose first contact with veganism was that vegan teacher. And then when you talk to them, um, they're like, I don't know how to explain it, but they have that initial contact and they are sort of defensive and they are like angry about what that vegan teacher does, or they think it's very cringe or something. And then everyone else, all other vegans can prove that wrong. So at least it's like an initial contact for a lot of people, which is technically a good thing. We don't talk about her. I mean, maybe we should. God. Gelukkig nieuwjaar. Gelukkig nieuwjaar. That's the Dutch way to say Happy New Year. Gelukkig nieuwjaar and Feliz Año Nuevo in Spanish. Miss Katie is a true fucking badass. When you listen to her interviewed, she's completely sane. She's playing a role to draw the attention. Yeah, I got that idea too. Yeah. And it's working. So she's doing something right, I would say. Okay, let's go on to the second positive thing that happened to animals in 2023. UK mostly bans keeping primates as pets. So this is for all the people here who are against having companion animals, or what is now commonly known as having pets. The UK government has revived another of its pledges from the Abandoned Kept Animals Bill. So this is the same bill that we talked about in the last one. New legislation introduced earlier this month will make it illegal to keep primates in domestic settings as household pets in environments that fail to provide for their needs, as it should be. There are an estimated 5,000 primates being held captive as pets in the UK. The new bill falls short of completely banning this practice. Okay. People who can provide the highest welfare standards will still be allowed to apply for a license to keep primates. But the ban, if properly enforced, will help save some primates from horrific living conditions, which is positive. Dr. Ross Clubb, head of the RSPCA's Wildlife Department, said in a statement, "We hope this bill will put an end to the shocking situations we have seen, with monkeys cooped up in bird cages, fed fast food, sugary drinks, or even Class A drugs, deprived of companions of their own kind, living in dirt and squalor, and suffering from disease." Fucking RSPCA. RSPCA. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, of course this is bad for monkeys, but it's also bad for, I don't know, chickens, turkeys, pigs, cows. Especially when they're talking about bird cages and they're talking about living in dirt and squalor, suffering from disease. Have you guys seen the latest, like Joey Carbstrong's latest investigation at a turkey farm from Avara Foods? That's insane. Like the footage that's exactly what the RSPCA is talking about in this little paragraph here. But have they responded to Joey at all? Have they responded to him at all about his investigation and the conditions the turkeys are living in? Of course not. Why would they? This really pisses me off. Mostly bans? Yeah, exactly. UK is mostly doing stuff to some extent in some situations. I mean, is it technically better than what most countries are doing? I guess so. Like, the UK really thinks they're so ahead of everyone when they're just like maybe 2% ahead of other countries, which is nothing. RSPC are hypocritical, funded by farmers, of course they are. Stands for really should protect cruel abusers. Fun times. It is funny that veterinarians consume their patients. Yeah, isn't it? That is true. They're saying it's unethical because they're treating primates like farm animals. Yeah, then doesn't it logically follow then that treating farm animals the same way would also be unethical? Just saying. But at least we're saving the monkeys to some extent. We're saving monkeys to some extent, guys. At least in the UK we are. Tigers and leopards rescued from a Thai farm. Okay. 15 big cats have been rescued this month from a tiger farm in Thailand, and more are expected to be rescued soon too. The Wildlife Friends Foundation Thailand described the rescue as the first part of the largest tiger rescue operation by an NGO in Thailand's history. WFFT, Thailand's biggest wildlife rescue center, chose the first 15 animals to save based on the urgency of their medical needs. 12 elderly tigers and 3 ill leopards were removed from the farm, which is subject to legal action from the Thai government for alleged wildlife trafficking. We are thrilled to now finally give these magnificent animals a new life at WFFT's Tiger Rescue Center. Though the big cats can't be returned to the wild, they will have a safe sanctuary home where they can roam forested land, socialize with other tigers, and even swim in the lake. So these are the tigers in question. They were apparently emaciated, these tigers. So I'm happy that they found a better place to live. My sister's a vet. It's hard to discuss with her, but she's mostly desensitized by seeing a lot of blood and stuff on a daily basis. Yeah, does she work as a vet at like mostly for like pets or for farmed animals? Or both? I don't know if that's possible. Probably. The phrase packed in like cattle really exemplifies how people know conditions for farm animals are bad but simply don't care. We've used that language since like at least like 1700s, I feel like. So it's in the lingo, it's in society, like it's just unfortunately. Basing moral consideration solely on sentience and welfare protection is strange in my opinion. What do you mean exactly? Solely on sentience and welfare protection? I mean, for me, sentience makes sense. Yeah, happy news. Enjoy yourself, tiger homies. Yeah. But they said this was like a farm where the tigers were at. But were the tigers... So do they eat tigers in Thailand? Is that something I just didn't know? Yeah. I'm gonna be nice for the new year, at least for a little while. Yeah, Jerry, please be nice. Everyone, please be nice. Okay, we go on to the next story. So these tigers have been saved. A lonely elephant moved to a sanctuary. Mundi now gets to enjoy life in the company of other elephants. Last year, animal advocates hoped to finally see Happy, an elephant who has been held captive at the Bronx Zoo in New York, move to a sanctuary, a bid to have her legally recognized as a person and so illegally confined at the zoo made global headlines, but ultimately failed. Oh, fuck. Gotta cough a little bit. So it's comfort that another long captive elephant called Mundi has moved to sanctuary in May this year. The World Animal Protection and Elephant Aid International worked together to get 41-year-old Mundi moved from Mayagüez Zoo in Puerto Rico to EIA's Elephant Refuge, North America, in Georgia, US. Mundi had spent 35 years alone. She was initially brought to the US from Zimbabwe and was exploited in a circus for 2 years. After that, she went to Mayagüez, which lost its license in 2018 and is now shutting down following numerous animal welfare violations. It's good that they're shutting that down. That's like they're shutting the whole zoo down. Okay, that's cool. That's really good. Mundi's rescue part is part of a bigger effort by Wild Animal Sanctuary to relocate all animals from the Mayagüez Zoo to sanctuaries. The sanctuary where Mundi now lives has 850 acres of hills, pastures, and forests, and a lake. Mundi will now no longer have to live alone. 2 other elephants called Bo and Tara already live at the sanctuary. That is very heartwarming news. Yeah, apparently there are animal rescues in the US. Never would have guessed either. Never would have guessed. Um, I don't think they eat tigers though. Oh, at the Thai tiger restaurant? Probably not. I would hope not. Dutch people would riot. Um, yeah, 35 years alone, that's crazy to me. I don't know if like are elephants like group animals? Like some people are herd animals, some animals are herd animals, other animals are not, and are fine being alone for a longer period of time. I don't know if that's the case for elephants, but 35 years is very long. Yeah. Oh, so about the sentience thing, I mean to say that only having moral consideration based on those things is strange because animals are sentient anyway, regardless of where they fit on the spectrum. Oh yeah, okay, so saying that, oh, these primates are very sentient, very smart, very intelligent, therefore we should care about them more. But then they're more, I think they are judging more on intelligence or perceived intelligence than they are on sentience itself. I think. Yeah. Hi, Elliot. Good to see you. Elephants are really social animals. Yeah, then that sucks. That must be like a lot of emotional trauma for that elephant to be alone for that long. Probably. I love sanctuary footage too. I wish I could go to sanctuaries more often, but usually they're like in the middle of nowhere, not really um, reachable very well by public transport. And I don't have a car or a driver's license, so that's unfortunate. But I've been to a sanctuary once, and it was very nice, and I loved the animals that I met there. Elephants live on average 65 years. Yeah. So that's basically a human life. That's basically a whole human life and half their life alone. Gelukkig nieuwjaar. Jij ook, Elliot. All right. Oh, Robin has also entered the chat. Cool, cool, cool. We go on to our next story. California passes law on animal experimentation alternatives. So this is about testing. In October, California passed a law expanding the list of non-animal alternatives that must be used in laboratory experiments. The new legislation built on a bill. Oh, I found a grammar mistake. It should be built with a T. Anyway, built on a bill passed in the year 2000, requiring labs testing products such as pesticides and household products to replace animals in experiments with certain non-animal alternatives. This will help spare more animals from cruel and painful tests. The new law also requires to report annually on the number and type of animals and alternatives they've used. The Humane Society of the United States, which sponsored the bill, called this provision a first of its kind. So the Humane Society, do we know if the Humane Society is a vegan organization? Because I think they might be. Animal testing facilities are only required by law to report on tests using certain animals. So they're only required to report testing on animals if it requires certain animals, but not. Okay, this excludes around 95% of the animals used in tests, mainly rats, mice, birds, fish, and reptiles. So basically, probably only dogs and cats that are required to report, that you are required to report when you're testing on them, but not 95% of animal use in tests. That's crazy. Yeah, it's still mostly rats, mice, and then birds, fish, and reptiles. The Humane Society estimates that more than 50 million animals are currently used in experiments around the US. Nearly 4.5 million of them are in California. The new law will spare more of these animals from suffering. God. So this is, California. Only California so far, but maybe it might become a federal thing. Who knows? I don't know how the US really works. Animal activism mentorship just interviewed someone who works at an animal sanctuary. Good to hear. Synthetic dissection frogs are quite cheap. Like $3 to $4 for like a dead frog that you can dissect, or oh no, sorry, this is a synthetic frog. I completely misread that. No, that's good. That's really good. Synthetic frog. When I was in high school, I think I was like 14, I had to dissect a chicken's heart. and we had to do this in pairs. And my partner really was disgusted by this chicken heart. I was too, but she just didn't dare touch it, and then I had to do all the work of that group project for her. Um, and now I'm vegan. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing like you can't really like one of the group partners had to do the thing, so at least half of the class was required to dissect an animal to some extent, and that like why should you do that in schools? They still do that in schools. It's crazy. Um, the HSUS supports a plant-based diet through reductionism, for example, meatless Mondays, and eliminating animal products from massive producers. That's the Humane Society in the US. Okay, so plant-based, sort of plant-based. Um, I'd refuse to do it. Yeah, I mean, I would too if I like at that point it was only disgusting to me. It wasn't really a moral dilemma for me. Like maybe subconsciously I thought this is sad for the chicken, but I was 13, 14. You don't really think about it. When you have to do it, it's like it's a school thing. I had to do that to a chicken in class. Yeah, sad. I had to dissect a sheep heart in school. That was way before I found my ethics, but I still find myself a bit nauseated. I was too. I mean, even while wearing the gloves and everything, and just it has such a strange, a weird texture, and I was just like, I don't want to do this, but I had to. I don't even remember the grade that I got for that. The only plant-based I stand for is eating plants, is staying based as a vegan. We're all based. We're all plant-based and salads, right? Salads in the chat. I'm really turning into Ellie right now. I should think of my own thing. I don't want to copy her. I guess I was lucky to live in a poor country. We had no dissecting. Yeah, those things, that seems pretty expensive though. Yeah, after buying all, like, first of all, buying all that equipment, then buying the chicken heart, or some people I knew had to like dissect an eye or something like that. Yeah. Salads. Salads. Nice to see you. In university, we did the most horrible things to live grasshoppers. What did you do to grasshoppers? And like, what were you studying, biology, or what were you studying? Because I know a vegan who is in the Vegan Student Association in my city, and he's studying veterinary medicine. He has to dissect animals for his courses. Like that's just mandatory. There's lots of things like he has a course basically about how to handle animals, or like how to handle cows or pigs in the industry, and like that those are all mandatory courses. Like there's nothing he can do to like he has to do those things to become a veterinarian. Like that's crazy to me. I used to whisper to my cat that I loved him because if I said that out loud, the adults would scold me and say, "We don't love animals, we love people." Really? They were that strict with you? You can't even say to your cat that you love them. That's crazy. That's crazy. All hail the corn. We're just doing corn in the chat instead. Is that because the corn meme? Like, it's corn, a big lump with knobs. It has the juice. It has the juice. It's a really catchy song. Fuck, it's gonna be stuck in my head for the next hour. Ugh, I hate it. I only had to dissect that heart as part of my laboratory school. Had I taken another direction, I wouldn't have had to do it. Laboratory school. I don't really know what that is. When I was in year 6, we visited high schools and they showed us pigs' hearts. I asked what happened to them, and I was told that they had sleeping gas. It's not sleeping gas. It's also not laughing gas. It's a gas chamber with CO2 gas. God. I also just really like Corn and the Band-Aid and think it's funny to worship corn as children of the corn. Children of the Corn, is that a movie or something? I recognize that phrase, children of the corn. Anyway, we move on to the next story. Some wild birds gain immunity from bird flu. Okay. The H5N1 strain of bird flu has been tearing through poultry farms and wild bird populations at a terrifying rate for the past few years. Intensive poultry farming has been linked to the emergence of fatal strains of the virus, such as H5N1. Millions of wild birds have died from the virus, and millions more farmed birds have been slaughtered in efforts to contain it. God, that's sad. Though the avian pandemic is not over yet, some positive news recently emerged. Scientists discovered that two communities of seabirds seem to be developing immunity to H5N1. In the world's largest colony of northern gannets in Scotland, about a third have antibodies protecting them from the virus. The colony has shrunk by about a quarter due to the bird flu outbreak. Around half of shags tested by researchers were also found to have gained immunity. Well, what do we think of that? I guess less bird flu is good, but the largest reason of this, at least the widespread spread of bird flu is of course intensive poultry farming. And once we the whole thing with most pandemics are zoonotic diseases, 75% are zoonotic, and we could just solve all this problem, prevent all of the disease if we just didn't do any of this shit. And it's cool that a third of this wild bird population has immunity to this strain of bird flu, but it's one step forward, two steps back. It feels like it's slightly positive, but also sad, very sad. Okay, so I was studying to become a lab worker, so some medical stuff was required. Yeah, still is, I would think. Children of the Corn was a short story and then a movie. It was neuroscience. You studied neuroscience and was paper on evolution of the nervous system. Measured their nerve activity using metal instruments hooked under nerves while they were restrained and alive. Grasshoppers. That is crazy. That's like torture in a horror movie level. That's insane. Was a bit excessive. Yeah, no shit. It's why they get away with calling it humane. H5N1 is a pretty bad virus as far as I've heard. Yeah, I have not heard of it before. I'm not very acquainted with all the strains of bird flu or bird flu in general. But so this is slightly positive news, but overall still sad, very sad that all of these birds died because of a preventable disease, or at least a spread that is preventable. The next story is Supreme Court upholds Proposition 12. In 2018, 63% of voters in California approved Proposition 12. This law bans the sale of pork in California that had come from farms confining pregnant and nursing sows to tiny gestation crates. Prop 12 also prevents eggs from battery-caged hens and veal from calves kept in tiny hutches from being sold in the state. Okay, the pork industry has fought tooth and nail to have the law overturned because it would cost it money. Of course, it's all about money. Several failed legal bids to undo Prop 12 eventually led the pork industry to take its case to the Supreme Court. But the majority conservative Supreme Court decided to uphold Prop 12 in May this year. The lives of pigs, laying hens, and veal calves across the US will still be terrible, but the defeat of the mighty pork industry in favor of improving animal lives is a big step forward. Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is good news. This is impacting, this is a lot of economical loss for the pork industry, which will lead to further and further declines. So I see this as a win. Yeah. Mortality rate of H5N1 is above 50. That's a lot. Ban the pork industry, support the porking industry. That's like the whole don't eat meat, eat pussy instead. It's the same vibe, but yeah, support the porking industry instead. Yeah, no, I would say this is positive news. This is I mean, it was federal, right? This is Supreme Court, so across the entire US. So that's a good sign. Good sign that the majority conservative Supreme Court would vote for this, even though like most of them will probably are investors in these companies or have some kind of tie to all of these big industries. Still, yeah, still the law passed. That's really cool. Yas, Queen, slay. That's a better sign than the one Mel Gibson started. That's a better sign. Which sign did Mel Gibson star in? Braveheart? Next story. World's first octopus farm still hasn't materialized. I made a video about this a couple months ago when I heard about it. So the whole thing was that in Spain, I think in one of the islands just off the coast of Spain, they wanted to start this octopus factory farm. Like supposedly end of 2023, beginning of 2024. And still it hasn't happened. And there were lots of petitions against this. Like there was lots of uproar against this. And I hope it still won't happen. Because that would be horrible. That's another animal enslaved, and we don't want that. So let's read the story. This is something that didn't happen rather than did happen for animals. The world's first octopus farm was supposed to open in the Canary Islands this summer, but it still hasn't appeared. The prospect of the farm, which reportedly aims to raise and kill around 1 million octopuses every year, 1 million octopuses every year, has united animal rights campaigners and scientists against it. There's now no clear timeline for when the farm will open. Nueva Pescanova, the Spanish seafood company behind the plan, had a simplified version of its environmental impact assessment rejected by officials. The company must now carry out a more extensive environmental impact assessment process, which will slow things down further, with no guarantee it will be approved. Nueva Pescanova's poor financial performance in recent years has also led to most of the company being acquired by the Canadian corporation Cook Seafood Incorporated. Hopefully, this changed situation will further help to derail plans for the octopus farm. Yeah, I sure hope so. What do you think? What do you guys think the best realistic name for the pork industry is? Pig trafficking, pig flesh harvesting, both, I guess. I mean, pig trafficking, pig slavery, pig slave holding. I don't know. Pork is pig in Romanian. I have no problem calling it what it is, but for me, I hear it exactly as is. Yeah, no, that's different in every language. That's true. Oh, this is the octopus farm you did the video on. Yeah, I did. You remember that. Good to know. And we got to hear the Spanish flexing for the first time. Yeah, it was the first time I spoke Spanish in any of my videos, so you're welcome. I don't practice my Spanish enough, and that's why I'm quite happy that I get a lot of Spanish people in my outreach. In Amsterdam, there's tons of Spanish tourists that I can talk to, and it's really the only practice that I get. So, quite happy with that. Flexing my skills. But yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this octopus farm that didn't happen? Or hopefully won't happen. We haven't had any other updates since, I think, August or September or something. Most languages don't have separate words for dead and live animals, and it doesn't stop them from being carnivorous cultures. Yeah. So some people, like I personally, I try to use like he, she, or they pronouns when talking about animals, because to me that grants them more personhood, like the personhood they would deserve, rather than calling them it. But really, whatever we call them, their treatment is ultimately what matters. So even if people are calling animals it, that's like, it only matters symbolically, you know? Although I prefer calling them he, she, they. What language did you and your parents speak in? Good question. All of them. All of them, either at the same time, at different times. So usually with my dad, I would speak Dutch because he is Dutch. Usually with my mom, I would speak Spanish because she's Spanish. But more often than not, it would be Dutch. That's the more dominant language in our family. But my mom would get pissed off if I wouldn't speak Spanish with her because she really wants me to keep the practice up. And other than that, English was mostly a language that my parents spoke among each other when I was little, because like whenever they wanted to discuss something that like I shouldn't know or that's like personal for them, and that's kind of hearing them talk in English like that. Also, watching English children's programming on TV is mostly how I learned English. So I was basically raised trilingually. Eating octopuses, eating octopuses for octopussies. Yeah, exactly. That should be on a sign. That should be on a sign somewhere. Um, Since veganism is an extension of human rights to animals, it makes complete sense to use the he, she, they when addressing animals. Respectful language. I agree. Oh yeah, English has the Anglo-Saxon words for animals and the Norman words for their meat. Oh, is that the distinction? Oh, is that Norman? Is that Normandy, like the region in France? Interesting. I don't know enough about etymology and linguistics and stuff, but that's interesting. All right, we move on to the next story. We have a couple left of this article. Norway takes a stand against unethical dog breeding. Norway's Supreme Court ruled against unethical dog breeding this year in a decision that will help save many dogs from being born with serious health problems. The court decided that the breeding of Cavalier King Charles Spaniels must stop, as the breed has become too inbred and unhealthy. It is also ruled that unless the breeding of English Bulldogs is in line with the new rules, it will be illegal. Breeding animals for specific extreme traits, such as flat faces, in dogs has become popular. Such physical features cause serious health and welfare problems for animals. The issue came before the Supreme Court after the Norwegian Society for the Protection of Animals sued 6 individual breeders, as well as the Kennel Club of Norway, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel Club, and the English Bulldog Club. So many dog clubs. The lawsuit claimed that the breeding of these specific breeds violated Norway's Animal Welfare Act. And they ruled against it, so they won. So less dogs in Norway will be bred into extreme suffering and sadness. So, is Elwood still safe? I guess. I guess so. As long as they're not spaniels or English bulldogs, Elwoods can still breed their yummy, yummy dogs. Gosh. So I guess Norway is doing well. Are they? Does anyone else know about Norway's animal welfare regulations and like good stuff that's happening over there? I mean, for a lot of farmed animals, it's the case, I think. Yeah, Norman people from modern France, the Anglo-Saxon class, raised the animals and the Normans ate them, so the names were different? Question mark? You're asking me? I don't know. Neither Norway. Neither Norway what? Okay, we have a lot of Norman words for more upper class things. It's interesting how many Norman words were influenced by Gaulish, Celtic, so very different from Romance languages. Yeah, so Jeremy is here spitting all the linguistics knowledge and stuff that we need in the live chat. Cool. Next story. That's the last. Oh, that's the last story of this article. Okay, cool. Good stuff. We have other articles lined up for you guys, but first, what did you think of those 9 things? 9 positive things that have happened to animals, or not happened to animals, in the last year. How are we feeling? Are we optimistic? Are we pessimistic? I mean, probably a lot of people are still very sad because, of course we are. Based article. Yeah, plant-based news does some good stuff. So, yeah. Cool. Okay, let's see what other articles I had. Um, oh yeah, this is one other thing that I found. There's in a Vox article about like good, the positive stuff that's happened in the past year. They also mentioned some animal facts. Let's see. Here. They mentioned this. Europe is quickly phasing out the ugly practice of male chick culling. Each year, the global egg industry hatches 6.5 billion male chicks. 6.5 billion. That's like the entire human population in male chicks every year. But because they can't lay eggs and they don't grow big or fast enough to be efficiently raised for meat, they're economically useless to the industry. So they're killed hours after hatching and in horrifying ways, ground up, burned alive, gassed with carbon dioxide, and suffocated in trash bags. And that is all legal. That is all legal and standard practice. In the last 5 years, however, scientists have begun to commercialize technologies to identify the sex of a chick while still in the egg, enabling egg hatcheries to destroy the eggs before the males hatch. The first machine came online in Europe in 2018, and the technology is now being adopted by European egg companies at a rapid pace. Yeah, because it makes them more money, I would think. According to the animal welfare organization Innovate Animal Ag, at the end of September 2023, 15% or 56 million of Europe's 389 million egg-laying hens came from hatcheries that use this technology. That percentage is expected to further rise in the years ahead as several more egg-scanning machines will come online soon. In the realm of animal farming, technology is often deployed in ways to hurt animals, like breeding them to grow bigger and faster while sacrificing their health and welfare. But here, it's used to end one of the industry's cruelest practices. I hope we'll see even more technologies used for good in the food and farming sectors in the years ahead. What are our thoughts about this? This will make people more complacent about eating eggs. Maybe. Like this is usually, as an outreacher, this is one of the first things that you bring up. Like, do you know what happens to the male chicks? They're ground up alive on the first day of life. Like that's like a standard sentence that we say, and it's true in like still in most places in the world. But even if you can't say that, even if that's not true anymore, doesn't mean that the industry is any less cruel. So still, like, yeah, maybe they're like the males don't even get born. Okay, sure, they don't have to be killed or suffer or anything. But then, what about all the other chickens? What about all the female chickens and all the yeah, like they still have to be killed at some point. It's still cruelty. So as long as we can emphasize that part of the industry, people shouldn't become more complacent about eating eggs. And it's I don't know. It's complicated. Phase out the ugly practice. I have a feeling that means they'll find another way to discard their lives. Discard their what do you mean? Discard the male chicks' lives? Small steps in welfare gives people more excuses to continue exploiting. Maybe, but we'll have to see. Because apparently this has already been happening. No one in my outreach has ever used it as an argument against veganism. In my experience, I don't know if you guys have heard that from non-vegans. They did so that we cannot show the footage of how they use the macerator. They did this. I don't think they did this just because of that. I think it just makes the industry more money in general. Because then you don't have to spend any resources on killing the male chicks that just were born, or discarding them, or like, paying for any labor regarding the male chicks. You know what I mean? So I understand that the practice is being adopted quite quickly because it is profitable. It's more profitable for them. Welfareism, sad face, sad face, sad face. Yeah, that about sums it up. Speaking of welfareism, what's Carson been up to? I don't know. He's probably busy with his family and his life. But I think people misinterpret what Carson says. I was also pretty confused about most of the stuff he was saying, and although he is pro welfare, but as a because of course in the next, like, I don't know when um full animal liberation will be reachable. I don't know when we would be able to reach that. And what he's saying, like, at least before we get before we get to that point, it would be better than this situation we have now if the animals currently in the industry would suffer less than they do. If you look at it from the individual animal's perspective, if you can't be freed or rescued in the moment that you're suffering that much, you would like to be like treated better, like to have better animal welfare. Like if you were in their position, technically, if there is no option for direct rescue or liberation, at least the treatment would be less horrendous. So that's kind of what Carson means when he says that he is pro animal welfare. I do wonder at what stage do they destroy the eggs? A day before hatching? I don't know. Maybe someone can look that up. Do you guys pay attention to the car-free livable cities online space? No, I do not. No idea, no clue. I feel like they will do more and more things that don't look as bad, but are just as bad. That it's our job to show that they are just as bad. As activists, that is what we should do. The chicks being ground up alive doesn't seem to bother people that much. It depends on the person. It depends on the person. I've had people like start crying when they see the chicks going in the macerator in the videos. Other people don't mind as much, and it just really depends on the person. I've heard some people say they don't do that in our country. Was Germany? Yeah. But there's other things that they do in that country, so let's point out those then. They must have figured out how to profit off of them. I don't even want to know how. I don't either. That welfare arguments backfire is an empirical claim. If you got facts, bring them against Tobias because he's got facts. Yeah. People are not bothered by that. Really? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Welfareism is trash. Yeah, welfareism only is trash. But if you're doing both animal liberation work and you're doing activism for the ending of all the exploitation, and you like sign a petition for like more welfare, those things are compatible in some sense. Like I know they sound very contradictory, but I do want the animals that are forced to live in these conditions right now, and I can't save them right now. I can save the generations of animals after this, maybe, if we're able to pass a law against all animal exploitation at some point. But at this point, if I can sign a petition for chickens somewhere to have a slightly better life, despite everything they're forced to endure is horrible, but if they can have a slightly better life where they don't rot and die on the floor somewhere and have like, I would sign that petition. You know, I wouldn't out of principle not sign that petition because I'm for full liberation. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you guys? The industry will make these welfare improvements regardless of what we tell them, so we should never advocate for welfare. I'm not saying advocate for welfare, go out in the street and advocate for it. I'm basically saying if there's a petition for a slightly better practice in the industry, I will sign it. But according to Jeremy, freedom is the ultimate welfare. If so, then fight for freedom, not for bigger cages. I'm not going to fight for it. That's not what I'm saying. There's the idea that, for example, cage-free will raise the cost of animal products, thus having people look at alternatives. Yeah, for example, that. So if that's another point, by the way, with animal welfare practices. Usually they cost more money because if they cost less money, they would already be implemented. If they cost more money, the products will probably go up in price because the subsidies will most likely stay the same or decrease from this point on. So if we get the prices to increase by getting welfare standards up, by, for example, signing petitions, voting on laws, whatever, then that is ultimately a win because less people will end up buying it because the cost is raised. So there's like layers to this, I would think. Yeah, but that idea impacts your pocket, not your conscience. Well, if you get people's behavior changing first, they are more open-minded to changing their mind. So that's another thing to consider. In the end, welfareism makes people okay with the idea that animal exploitation is justified. I personally don't agree with that. Activists will always fight for liberation no matter how many welfare laws it takes. Yeah, we will keep fighting for liberation, of course. Yeah, that's the question. If welfare were 100% okay, would that make it so that less people go vegan? So if welfare, if in the fantasies of if animals had a 100% painless, beautiful, happy life, yeah, but that's not most likely not going to happen. If that is the case, if all these animals are happy roaming on fields for years and years, that's not profitable for the industry. No one would be able to buy that anyway. So if we would even ever get to that point by legislation or anything like that, still I think it would be because it's less profitable, because it raises the cost, I think it's still sort of a good thing in a way. I think if you think about it in those terms, in economic terms, that's primarily what drives consumer behavior on a wide scale. Yes, we can talk to people on the street about the ethical implications of this and everything, and animal rights, but we're not going to reach, well, at least most of us are not going to be able to reach an entire population, And so these economic consequences and raising the costs and everything is a positive on a systemic, wider scale. Of course, fight for freedom with people who you have good reason to believe will support freedom. Philosophy students argue fundamentals, dumb public argue whatever. Yeah, sort of. Usually when I'm talking to people on the street, I usually try to simplify the message as much as possible. I don't want to use very complicated language, especially for people whose first language is not English or any of the other languages that I speak. I'm not saying otherwise the events I do are abolitionist events. Depends, they may be forced to do it. Okay, people are getting passionate in the chat. When I argue in street outreach at some point, I get to, even if they lived a perfect life, who am I to take their one and only? I get that. I get to that point too. That's still a very strong argument, in my opinion. Even if everything were perfect, you still kill them. If that were a dog, if that were a human baby, would you be okay with that? Would that be justifiable to you? Even if all the welfare legislation, all the things were implemented, it's still about the individual animal. So I don't think in outreach conversations it will make much difference, because in my outreach, I don't really focus on all the atrocities that happen. They get shown the video, they see the standard practices. After that, I don't really mention them in much detail. I mostly focus on the fact and the principle that who are we to take their lives away from them? Oh, it gives us the right. They value their own lives, etc., etc. So even if the conditions were better, that point is still there, and that point is still strong. What drives me nuts is you wouldn't support moderate improvements about racism. Yeah. When the actual history of improvement on race is nearly all moderate change within lifetimes and across generations. Yeah, people, I'm personally not very, I don't know much about the history of slavery and exactly the whole process and all the little steps that led to the abolition of slavery. But as I understand it, there were several moderate changes and welfare implementations before the ultimate abolition. And apparently, in that situation, it did get people closer and closer to the ultimate abolition of slavery of Black people in the U.S., in the Americas. I don't know what really the right term is. I say they are not bothered because they continue to consume the products after knowing about what happens. That doesn't necessarily mean they're not bothered. That just means that they continue with the habit, that they haven't broken their habit yet. Right? In other types of addictions, you can still be aware of all the implications of smoking or drinking or whatever, and you can still keep doing it. That doesn't mean that you're not bothered or that you don't necessarily care. You're just not implementing that care in your life. You're not acting on those thoughts, on those beliefs. Let's see. Free range labels are bad because they make the public more comfortable about murdering animals. Yeah. So yeah, the labels should be, in any case, they should just be more honest. I feel like whatever, like the marketing that is happening for animal products and all the labels and stuff, it should go the same way as smoking is going right now, and I think it will at some point, with like actual pictures of what actually happens in the industries or what happens as a consequence of the consumption of that product should be on the packaging. The pictures of that should be on the packaging. People always talk about welfare and street outreach, so it's good to be armed with a perfect scenario or whatever they are trying to work through. Yeah, I agree, exactly. A slave's a slave no matter how well treated they are. That is true. Animals would not be given a perfect life, just the illusion of it. It's sickening. It is sickening. But modern racism still exists if you think about it. There are still legally segregated areas. Yeah, and of course you have like this like more subconscious racism. Now what the exact term was again. Like bias, like subconscious biases, I think is the term. What did you do for New Year's? Yeah, sorry, you're distracted. Is everyone distracted by my headband? Should I take it off? No, I had a party yesterday. Chip, Vegan Power Lab, was there, which is with a couple other activists in Amsterdam. And we danced, we ate, we played games. It's just really fun. Yeah. Wouldn't that mean that after a certain line is crossed for any injustice, people just don't care anymore? Like for like, do you mean like if? Sorry, I'm just lost a little bit. Do you mean if all the welfare legislation and stuff is implemented, and at some point people don't care anymore? Because I don't believe that. I don't think that would be the case. Addiction to entitlement is the addiction. Oh, Kane says keep it on. Yeah, I like it. It's fun. I think it looks cute on me. I was like this the entire night yesterday, so. Keep it on and slay, vegan queen. Yeah, it looks fun. Thank you. That's an interesting claim. Do you think that most people who got the African slave trade abolished were arguing for full political and social equality? Seems dubious. I don't think that was the case. So, yeah, very on brand to spend it with activists. Thank you. Yeah. No, most of my friends, like, I don't think I have any friends who are like, or close friends in any case, who are non-vegan. I think my entire friend and like social circle, now that I'm also part of the Vegan Student Association and I'm in the board and everything, and I'm an organizer for We the Free, and I'm just constantly around vegans and activists. That's basically my whole circle. I could not be happier. This is the dream. At least the dream would be that everyone would be vegan and or an activist. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, the food was very good. I still have some brownies left that I made. Yeah, it was fun. It's nice to be surrounded only by vegan people. Yeah, exactly. It just makes me really happy. Makes me feel really comfortable, and like makes me feel like I can be myself, you know. And I feel like you felt that too, Chip. Yeah, much love. Love in the chat. Green hearts in the chat. Green hearts are my favorite hearts. Okay, AJ and Jeremy are starting to fight again. Of course, it wouldn't be a live stream if that wouldn't happen. I danced, so I was myself for sure. Yeah, I think you have some pretty sick moves. I think you do. Some corn in the chat. Damn, anyone else like me have zero close friends or family who are vegan? Yeah. No, I used to, like, I think in the first year that I was, like, a first year or year and a half that I was vegan, I did not have any vegan friends or family, and it was very, like, lonely, a bit depressing, and very frustrating to have to be around that all of the time. But now, like, this is what I've chosen for my life, and it's just very happy, very, very satisfied with it, and I hope you find that too. And look, you're surrounded by vegan people in this chat right now, so There, that's something. You can always join us. You're always welcome, and we love you. Mm. My only vegan friends are all yous so far. So far. Um. Aw. Everyone's okay. People are nice in the chat. This is really heartwarming. This is really heartwarming. This makes me feel happy. So let's keep that optimism. Let's keep that joy. Let's see. What else? What else did I have lined up for you guys? Let's stop sharing this screen. Just the tower is still standing, guys. The tower is still standing. I had a different. Okay. So I had a veg news article lined up. I will scream that. It's the hat that makes us happy. Is it? Does it make you happy? I feel so cute with this. Like someone at the party just gave me this basically as a gift because she thought it looked so cute on me, and yeah, it sparkles and everything. No one is vegan in my family. I'm the only cool one in the family. Yeah. No, I bet you are. We're cool cats. My vegan friends are in the computer. We're your imaginary friends. We're not real. You're imagining us. Or we're catfishing you. That's another thing. That could be. Yeah. All right. So let's see if I can stream that. Not scream. Stream. It's a veg news article that says 2024 will be the most vegan year yet, according to these two trend predictors. Two industry reports agree that vegan food, particularly plant-based seafood and simplified meat alternatives, will continue to gain favor with consumers in 2024. So this was actually written in October, so it's not very recent, but it's still applicable. Let's see. As we inch closer to 2024, or we are already in 2024, trend forecasts continue to point to plant-based eating as a cornerstone of the modern diet. While vegan burgers were a mega trend in recent years, plant-based seafood is now stepping into the spotlight as the trend to watch for 2024, according to reports released by both the Specialty Food Association and Whole Foods. Overall, both SFA and Whole Foods find that consumers are looking for simpler, less processed foods that lead into value and sustainability. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like I have been like kind of stepping away from the more processed meat alternatives and going more for like soy chunks, or like I have these like I can show them to you. Give me a second. Let's see. These are Peacemaker pieces. They're basically like soy chunks, but made with pea protein, and they are dried. You just have to put them in hot water for a couple minutes, and they'll soak up the water. You can just stir fry them, put them in any recipe, and they're great. You can put them in everything, and they're very cheap and very versatile. So that's Peacemaker for you. They're a Dutch company, so it's also local. So I'm doing amazingly for the environment. Yeah, I don't know. They probably ship to other countries. I'm not entirely sure. I know they ship to Germany in any case. But yes. Hail Satan. As if it's not being written all the time and we can change it. Soy chunks are interesting. I usually just use beans, but a couple of reels are tempting me to try. Yeah, soy chunks can be very like. I saw this one, I think it was the Edgy Vegan. She does recipes on her channel and shorts and stuff. She made these like chicken wings with like with soy chunks. And like there was a really interesting texture, and like with rice paper as the exterior, like the skin of the chicken wing, and it looked very appetizing. So you can make tofu out of red lentils and other legumes. Yeah, I heard about that. I had never made tofu myself in general, so maybe that's a resolution for me in 2024 is make tofu myself, and maybe with red lentils or something. Just be creative in the kitchen. Be more creative in the kitchen. I was thinking of doing more like food content in my shorts or something, or more recipe videos or casual cooking videos. It's just I am very chaotic in the kitchen, and I just don't think it would be interesting to look at. It would just or maybe it would be, like, in the way that a reality show is interesting because it's just a mess and a train wreck. Like, my cooking, it's fine, and the end product is always fine. Like, it doesn't look spectacular, but it tastes good, so that's something. But I don't think watching me cook would be a good idea. Yeah. Oh, you made kofta with the peacemaker things. That's good. That's really cool. Kitchen chaos with your host, Christina. Uh, I don't know. I don't I don't know. Everyone keeps telling me I need an air fryer. I hear so many things about air fryers, and other people say that it's basically just a mini oven. Um, I don't know what to believe. I'm not gonna buy an air fryer now. I don't really have the funds, and I already have an oven and a stove and a microwave, and like it's enough. It's enough for now. I can cook well with this. Um, yeah. Totally off topic, but you speak English so fluently. Are you part English or American? No, actually, I get this question a lot. I am not English or American. I am half Dutch and half Spanish, and I learned English as a third language. And I picked up the accent because I watched so much English and American media growing up. Basically, as a toddler, I was only allowed to watch like BBC, like CBBS, like the English children's channel. Other than that, I watch lots of stuff and movies and everything in English and love to read. So that's basically how I got there. Like in school, they taught me a British accent growing up, but somehow the American just stuck. And I feel like sometimes I really sound like a valley girl, and it's really annoying because I feel like British people just sound well, certain accents or like certain accents within British sound more intelligent than American accents. So, um, you're a mini oven. What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm a mini oven. Oh, you should get a Patreon. I have been thinking about it. I have been thinking about it. I feel very guilty asking other people for money, as probably most people do. Um, I was thinking like I start a Patreon once I'm eligible for the YouTube Partner Program. So for the YouTube Partner Program, you need like 500 subscribers, which I just hit, by the way. On New Year's Eve, I hit 500 subs, which is like two good things happening at once. So thank you so much, you guys, for subscribing and for being here and believing in me. But what was I saying? Yeah, so you need 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. Now, the subscribers already hit, but I still need like half of the watch hours. That's why I'm live streaming, because that's the easiest way to hit the watch hours. And I think it's just really nice to interact with you guys a bit more. Um, so yeah, so I don't know when that will happen. I can start up Patreon earlier than that. It will probably happen somewhere this year. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, it's wild. Yeah, thank you. When I started talking with Christina, I said, "Oh, you went to the Netherlands to be with extended family?" I'm used to Dutch people sounding British with a slight Dutch accent. Yeah, it's the same for like German people. They usually have more British accent or like a mix of different accents, which is like weird. Um, yeah, King, you sound very intelligent. Yes, you do. 500 subs, 500 subs. Thank you so much. Ooh, my nose is a bit blocked. British people remembers foreigners, Northerners. Some British accents are nice. That's basically how that went in my mind. Like you have, I was more thinking of like Georgie, or like the Essex accent. I don't know if that's correct, but like basically how people from Love Island speak. That's who I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, those exist. They don't sound very intelligent, but like, let's say, um, like Doctor Who, Sherlock, The Crown. Those to me are like intelligent sounding British accents. But of course, sounding intelligent doesn't mean you are intelligent. So that's just one part of the puzzle there. Me will start live streaming this year too. Cool. I'll be there. Are you gonna do like musical live streams or just do you have an idea? I meant accents. Yeah, I see it. Just start the Patreon. Are you forcing me? You're not my dad, Chip. You're not. Well, maybe I will. I'll keep thinking about it. It takes a while to pick up. Oh yeah, you already have a Patreon, don't you? Do you? I don't remember. Mm. Mm. Yeah, congrats. Thank you. People are congratulating me everywhere. Geordie is Newcastle? It's from New Zealand, so not sure. Geordie? No, Geordie is from New Zealand? The Geordie accent? What? No, like Geordie Shore. Geordie Shore is the television show. Geordie accent. Where does the Geordie accent come from then? Did I just say the wrong thing? Is a person from a Geordie is a nickname for the person from the Tyneside area of northeast England. So it is northern. It's northern. It is northern. What does the YouTube partnership program do? Basically, people are allowed to join your channel. So David Rams has this, Vegan Gaze has this, where you can join, like next to the subscribe button, you can join, you get certain privileges. It's basically like Patreon, but on YouTube. You do get like, YouTube does get a cut of the money that you get from your supporters, but it's basically like Patreon, but on YouTube itself. Do I watch Love Island? No, but I have seen clips, and it's something that I only ironically would watch. Just like First Dates or something like that. Although First Dates is sometimes interesting. It really depends on the people. But usually reality shows, not my thing, not my jam. Irish English, I don't, oh fuck, what am I saying? Irish English sounds smart, funny, and cool. Yeah, it does. Hoi, hoi. That's the like universal Dutch greeting. Is like hoi, 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 hoi. You can say that as hello and as goodbye. Yeah, that's fun. What are you guys doing for the new year? No concrete idea yet, but I might just wing it and see what works. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I did. So I started like doing like reactions. So I started with the Michael Knowles video where he reacted to vegan activist TikToks. And then I watched Katie Hopkins' speech at Oxford Union like 2 days ago. Oh my god, what a train wreck, guys. Don't remind me. What a train wreck. Geordie accent is Newcastle. Okay, if you say so. Is it Jersey? Is it Jersey's Shore? No, I saw what? No, Geordie Shore is a reality show. I'll prove it to you. Sorry, I need to be right. I need to be right on this matter. I need to be. Let's see. Geordie Shore. There you go. Geordie Shore. Reality show with 24 seasons from 2011. A group of young men and women live together in the same house for the summer where they make merry and experience the ups and downs of having too much of a good time. What a description. What the fuck? Like these kinds of people, like all these British people who get like tans. Like that's what I mean. That's the kind of people that okay. Let's stop talking about this. Okay. Where was I? No idea why people are jumping on Patreon still when it's going under. Patreon's valuation has decreased substantially by 70% over the past year. I don't know where else I would go. Like, I don't know. Are there other services or websites that do the same thing? Because I can consider that. Yeah, Love Island sucks. Yeah, I guess that. Patreon takes a pretty big cut. I get about $150 a month, but 20% of that I think goes to Patreon. That's a lot. 20%. I was expecting to be like 5%. YouTube also takes like about 20, I would think. Yeah, it's a lot. So is that why you donate to Streamlabs instead? Oh, yeah. But I don't know. I haven't really checked if I can like do donations through Streamlabs. But I'm streaming via StreamYard, so I don't know if they do donations or not, but this is not relevant right now. Oh, they remade it. The original is Jersey Shore, and then they remade it for Geordie Shore. So get wrecked. I win. I'm right. Okay, LiberaPay and Streamlabs are alternatives. Good to know. I'll keep that in mind. All right. Where was I? What was I going to do? So we were reacting to this article about that 2024 will be the most vegan year in recent history, let's say. So they were saying that mostly vegan seafood and less processed vegan items will be on the rise next year. Our annual food trends predictions list is a way for us to pull back the curtain for customers and share insight into what our buyers and culinary experts are keeping on their radar for the upcoming year. Kathy Strange, her last name is Strange. That's funny. Dr. Strange and Kathy Strange, ambassador of food culture for Whole Foods Market and member of the Trends Council. From specific product ingredients and flavor trends to growing movements in the food industry, we can't wait to see these trends gain momentum in the year ahead. Plant-based embraces Whole Foods. Whole Foods Market's 9th annual trend report, compiled by 50 of its foragers, buyers, and culinary experts, explains that plant-based food is still a big trend and on a trajectory of reverting back to basic ingredients. So then we're basically going full circle from only Whole Foods to processed items to Whole Foods again. This shift, Whole Foods says, is largely consumer driven, as more people are increasingly wary of processed foods and are seeking alternatives that they perceive as more natural. Okay, cool. Natural fallacy. The nature fallacy. Mushrooms are also a continuing trend, according to both SFA and Whole Foods, revered for their versatility across sectors. I love mushrooms. Mushrooms in the chat, everyone. Mushrooms in the chat for everyone who loves mushrooms, because I love mushrooms. I've had like fried oyster mushrooms. Oh, they're amazing. They're great. Please. Mushrooms in the chat, please. Oh, you gotta go? Your bedtime was 30 minutes ago. God, Chip. You gotta man up, you know? Real men stay up until 2 a.m. No, I'm kidding. You can go to bed. Yesterday was a late night, so you can go. Good night. Have a good sleep. Kane also has to go. God. Everyone's leaving. No, just a couple people. All right, we got mushrooms. We got mushrooms. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, The Real Thing. Thank you, Gil. Bye, Kane, and bye, Chip. Nice having you here for an hour and a half. It's nice to have you. Then we'll keep reading. All right. Yeah, mushrooms. Amazing. Mushrooms. What is this? People will discover mushrooms in every food and beverage category, and product developers will find ways to weave in ancient wisdom into new craveable food formats. Interesting. Overall, it seems consumers are demanding more from their plant-based foods, not just meatless, but also health-focused and transparently sourced. Yeah, transparently sourced. I wonder if that also counts for animal products. Gee, wonder that. At Whole Foods, Meaty Foods is capitalizing on this trend with its line of vegan chicken, steak, and jerky, which is made from mycelium, a mushroom root. Those look very good. These look very delicious. I want to eat these. Plant-based seafood swims into 2024. Plant-based seafood has been trending for several years and was identified as a top pick for Whole Foods' first annual plant-based trends report that it published in 2021. That year, the plant-based seafood industry generated $42 million, according to market research. By 2031, AMR predicts the sector will reach $1.3 billion, with growth primarily attributed to factors such as depletion of natural ocean resources. Oh, that's a sad thing. Rise in the global vegan population. That's a good thing. Increased pressure on the global food supply chain. Also a good thing. And heightened awareness regarding animal welfare and cruelty in farms. Also a good thing. So these are some examples of vegan seafood. We got some crab cakes. We got some tuna poke bowl. We got some vegan salmon, I think this is. And they all look delicious. I had vegan sushi yesterday. Someone made that for the New Year's Eve party. Fucking amazing. Love vegan sushi. I didn't even like sushi before. So now suddenly I like sushi and fish in general. Vegan fish, love it. Whole Foods identifies 2024 as the year that new and more gourmet innovation will continue to bring excitement to the category by way of vegan tinned fish, a plant-based take on a broader trend. Tinned fish? People really want tinned fish? Not my jam. And while recreating plant-based versions of products such as shrimp, crab, fish, and lobster has been difficult in the past, TrendSpotter says that soon might change. Historically, this has been a challenge for producers, as the textures are particularly hard to mimic, June said in a statement. But with advancing technology, more brands are going to take a swing at it. Well, good to hear. More advancements and innovations in the vegan market, in the plant-based food market. What have we got in the comments? I'm weird. Don't eat them. Mushrooms, but anyway. You don't eat mushrooms? You don't like mushrooms? What's wrong with mushrooms? God. Oh, tomorrow I'm training for powerlifting again. Gotta go to competition at some point to show that vegans are strong. Yeah. No, go over to Vegan Power Lab's channel, you guys. He's almost to 500 subs. He's almost at 500 subs. And he has, like, he just posted this, like, thirst trap on his channel where he's just flexing his muscles and his abs just to show that you get enough protein on a vegan diet. And it's just like, damn, dude. Good job. Go powerlift tomorrow. Go show those carnists what you got. Show them what you got. Plant-based what now? I don't really eat this kind of stuff. Plant-based seafood. Yeah, Gardein makes crab cakes and fish fillets. Yeah, my local grocery store, they have like their own vegan brand, and they also have these vegan shrimp that I want to try. But they also carry a vegan brand called Vivera or Vivera, or however you pronounce it. And they have these vegan salmon fillets, which are delicious. Like even just by themselves, without putting anything on them, or like without any spices or sauces. It's just amazing. God, daring chicken. I don't think they have those in Europe, unfortunately. I had tinned plant-based tuna a while ago. There's a market for it, it seems. Yeah, tuna, like tinned tuna always seemed like disgusting to me. So I don't know why you would want a plant-based alternative for that. But if people are buying it, then great, awesome. I tried to make my own chickpea tuna. I failed miserably. It's a long story about those fungi. It's a long story. Well, then we don't have time for that story tonight. Let's see. Focus on sustainability. Sustainability is not a new trend, but it is one that continues to evolve and grow in importance, permeating across different food categories. According to Whole Foods report, water conservation and stewardship are taking on a new significance in food production. The retailer expects to see new water brands that make use of fruit byproducts, essentially converting waste into a resource. Okay, new water brands? Why do we need new water brands? Okay, whatever. This innovative approach to water signals broader changes in the way we think about sustainability and food production. The report also notes that brands are getting creative with the use of entire food parts. For example, cacao pods, which are usually discarded, are being used in their entirety in some food products. Cool. I mean, good people are thinking about food waste, sure. But the biggest food waste happens in the animal sector, in the animal industry, because basically 80%, like more than like 80 to 90% of the calories that goes into animals that they are fed, people only get 10% of calories back from those. Basically. Well, no, actually for 100% of calories that goes in, 10% comes out, basically. 10% of edible flesh or whatever. And yeah, even if you're not morally against it, it is incredibly inefficient. And if you care about food waste, you fucking go vegan. So that's my take on this. Mike just put his thirst trap in his profile pic. I read a couple of articles arguing mushrooms are sentient a while ago. Honestly, got me a bit scared. I fail to motivate myself to research more, though. I will look into that. I mean, I very much doubt it, but guys, if there is research to prove or indicate in any way that mushrooms are sentient to some level, we have to stop eating mushrooms. Like, if that comes out to be true, we follow the evidence. We always follow the evidence. We shouldn't be scared of new research coming out. Like, even though I love mushrooms, I know I can live without mushrooms if that were the case. So, I make spiral cut shiitake that tastes like amazing eel. I've never eaten real eel, but that sounds very strange. Okay, interesting. Also managed to appropriate and offend two cultures at the same time by creating the burrito, like burrito and pizza. Wait, what brand has a burrito? That sounds like a monstrosity. What is that? Not only do meat eaters hate me, I can make vegans hate me too. So it's kind of good that it's complicated. Sure. I had to just explain that crop deaths, though, is to someone, or what crop deaths, though, is to someone deploying crop deaths, though. He thought I was referring to the plant crops being killed. No. Oh, that's funny. Is there more reason to believe mushrooms are more sentient than bivalves? No, not as far as I know, there isn't. Can we get a quick rundown of the sentience arguments? Sounds dubious. I mean, I think he just said that he hasn't really looked into it much, so he doesn't know. I will maybe get back to you. No brand had that. It's my own invention. Okay. It combines the best of the burrito with the best of the pizza. Or at least it attempts to. What does that look like? Like, this reminds me, I don't know, you guys are probably too old to remember this. This old Nickelodeon show, I think it aired in like 2008 through 2012, called iCarly. And they had this very signature dish called the spaghetti taco. It's basically spaghetti in a taco. So, and it always looked very good, and I still want to try to make it at some point. But that's what this burrito is kind of reminding me of. It's like calling someone a flat earther who's saying the earth isn't a globe and having to explain what a flat earth is to him. That's funny. Okay. This article goes on for a little bit. This is the end of it. Another example is buckwheat, a crop known for its role in improving soil health, becoming an increasingly popular ingredient. The environmental benefits are double. Buckwheat helps to restore soil, and its use in food products reduces the need for less sustainable ingredients. SFA trend spotters agree that sustainability, a key differentiator between plant-based foods and their animal counterparts, is a key trend for 2024 and beyond. Regenerative, upcycled, and sustainably packaged are not just buzzwords, but keywords in consumers' quest to eat well while doing good. So yeah, I think both this and not calling vegan products vegan anymore, because there was this research that was done, I don't know if it was by Bonalytics or somewhere else, that consumers are more likely to buy vegan products if they are not called vegan, but plant-based instead. So let's rename them then. If that's if that's true, if that actually works, then let's rename vegan products. Earth is a social construct. Yeah, no, I bet Earth is a social construct. I doubt it as well. It's probably just one or two signs in one species and other signs in other species, but probably none that have enough of them to meet the standard for sentience. It's the flour tortilla with Mexican salsa, onions, tomatoes, green bell peppers. But that's not a burrito. Where's the pizza part of it? That's just a burrito, right? Well, no, that just sounds like a burrito to me. Am I crazy? Us ethical people just need a small vegan symbol so we know it's safe. Yeah, just a small symbol. There's more reason to think that current gen AIs are sentient than either mushrooms or bivalves. Yeah, so don't eat AI, guys. Don't eat them. Don't go to the computer, start licking the screen. Like, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Um, Leon, yeah, totally. It's kind of fun to hear the arguments if they're not sincerely believing it. Yeah, it's just like sometimes you talk to someone and you wish what they were saying was satire because then it would be actually funny. Like Katie Hopkins, for example. Digital minds is a huge ethical concern, in my honest opinion. In 10 years, we may be playing The Sims with sentient beings we harm for fun. Dude. Yeah, that's grim. That's very grim. I'm guessing he didn't wrap it? Who? Oh, the Boritza. Maybe he didn't. But that doesn't sound very good. But I like to eat chips. Yeah, don't we all? Don't we all like chips? My pizza part, the pizza part is you put it in the oven, sand it, comes out like a mini pizza. You also sprinkle some nooch for the cheesy taste. Oh yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I don't think it's enough to call it a burrita. No. Okay. I don't think if I've had anything else prepared. And we already got an hour and a half into the stream. Is there anything else you would like to see? Is there any positive news that I have missed? We could talk about your guys' hopes and predictions for the next year. Open to anything. What are you guys in the mood for? Sorry to be depressing. All the more reason to spread sentientist ethics faster. Yeah. Indeed. Oh, sorry, you needed a catchy name. Yeah, marketing is everything sometimes. Yeah. But let me know your ideas. What do we do after this? My plushies are watching you. Do I have any other articles that I can find? Oh, you're leaving. Bye. Animals are here with us, not for us. Thank you for being here. Really appreciated you being here. Do you do many We the Free events in the cold months? It's difficult here. Here, I mean, it got below, it got to freezing temperatures for like maybe a couple weeks, but the cold is not really that cold here. So yeah, we do like one. We usually do one We the Free event per month in Utrecht, and then we also do one in Amsterdam, which I don't organize, but I always attend. So I always attend 2 We the Free events and maybe 1 Animal Safe Movement event. So basically, and maybe 1 Koning dog meat event. So it's like 4 activism outreach events that I go to every month, roughly. Maybe we can play Spin the Bottle Vegan Edition. How would that work in a digital setting? Or is that an online game that I can pull up? Spin the Bottle Vegan Edition. I'm gonna Google that. Yeah, how the fuck? I don't know how that would even work online, but what would you do? Kiss each other through the screen? I've never actually played Spin the Bottle or Truth or Dare in a group setting. Like people do it at parties. I don't really go to parties very much. Like it's more like a teenage game, but it's stupid. It's dumb. Let's see if there's any videos we could react to. If Anne Hathaway, Anne Hathaway. Inspirational quote. Very inspirational quote. I have a question for you guys, actually. How aware are you guys of the Plant-Based Universities campaign? So put it in the chat if you know about Plant-Based Universities. Sorry, there's a lot of comments. I missed that one. So Ed's book, I'm roughly halfway. I think I got it over here. I think I was at the section of, where was I? Not this one. Yeah, the misinformed environmentalist, which is quite a long section. But here. So it starts with things like, oh, almond milk is bad for the environment, blah, blah, blah. Other things like, oh, quinoa consumption hurts Peruvian farmers. You should support local farmers and not buy plant foods shipped from abroad. Monocropping is really bad for the environment. What else? Yeah, so basically those types of arguments he argues against here. And I think it's just a really good resource to have like all the arguments in there if you ever wonder like, oh, what do I respond to this exactly? What are the exact statistics and studies and whatever? Just open the book, go to the relevant section, you'll find it. For other good news, I ordered a couple hundred activism stickers. Oh, awesome. Love stickering. Plant-based university. So let me explain it to you. I will open the website. So as the title, as the name says, basically, they basically campaign for plant-based catering in universities. So in institutions, academic institutions, basically. I think they started back in 2020, 2019 or something like that. Or yeah, I don't know if that's correct. Maybe like 2 or 3 years ago they started. They have already had successes. 8 universities in the UK have pledged to go plant-based. Like basically once the contract with their current caterer runs out or like within the next 2-3 years-ish, they have pledged to go entirely plant-based. Yeah. And let's see if I can find the exact universities that has happened at. If I can see, like, they had maybe in the about section? Yeah, okay, here. Plant-based Universities an Animal Rising campaign that began in late 2021, calling on universities to transition to 100% just and sustainable plant-based catering to tackle the climate and nature crises. So this is key because they argue from an entirely environmental perspective. Their reasoning is, hey, all of these universities and academic institutions are bringing out all of this research on the climate crisis. Basically, it is basically a scientific consensus or scientific fact now that a vegan, like a plant-based food system, is the best thing we can do for the planet. Like next to phasing out all fossil fuels, like this is the basically equally as important. And universities should be responsible in this because they are releasing this research. So they should be consistent in their reasoning and in their regulations, policy, whatever. So that's basically the way they argue. They are not using any like ethical and like animal ethics necessarily. They're purely focusing on, hey, you guys are saying this and this is important research, so we should implement it in universities for the climate, basically. That's yeah. Since its inception, this student-led campaign has achieved landmark votes for fully plant-based transition at 7 UK universities, now 8, including Warwick University. So this includes Cambridge and Stirling. And I think Oxford, UCL, like you see in this picture, and a couple others. We currently have active campaigns in over 70 universities, both in the UK and abroad, all run by student teams on their campuses, and expect to grow to 100 campaigns before the end of 2023-2024 academic year, which ends in a couple months, basically. What's cool about this, I'm starting a plant-based universities campaign in Utrecht, in my city where I study, and we have gathered like vegan students in different cities here in the Netherlands, and we'll be launching the campaign on a national level. So what's going to happen? In February, we're going to launch the campaign on like 8 different Dutch universities, and we're going to get national media attention immediately and get an article published in a big newspaper about this. Immediately get the attention that we need to really grab people's attention and campaign for this. And they recently had a win. The student union of, I think it was the University of Graz in Austria, voted for plant-based catering as well. So it's not just in the UK, it's in all of Europe right now. Ooh, my throat. I'm talking a lot, Anna. Where can I get the Koning Kondeplay stickers though? I think they're selling them through Buy It Back. I'm not sure though. I saw the screenshot you shared and it seemed quite familiar since I've seen all of his videos. But a comprehensive book is pretty powerful. Yeah, that is true about the Ed's book. I wrote to the closest uni culinary department twice about trying plant-based for January 2024 and got crickets. Yeah. I mean, are you a student there or are you just writing to them as an external person? Because that does make a difference. But maybe next time you could start a petition or something to get broader support for that. I hope people are really making sure these food providers are amazing. Yeah, I hope so too. We're going to make sure. And that they have similar products to those available once out of school. 8 universities is decent. Yeah, so 8 in the past, like, year and a half-ish. So a year and a half. When they've been campaigning since 2021, some universities have been campaigning for a shorter amount of time. But it is, yeah, it's starting a movement. It's starting a whole thing. Do you think there will be leftist protests for authentic ethnic cuisines? I don't think so. Like we have like a basically and fossil movement at our university. They have occupied the university before, asking them to stop, like to cut their ties with fossil fuel industry and stuff. And most of them are either already plant-based or vegetarian or in favor of it. I don't think any of them would argue. I don't think the leftists at our university would be the ones to argue against plant-based catering, in my opinion, like the ones that I know anyway. I think that like we have some, the Vegan Student Association has pretty close ties with them, and I think they would be on our side. And yeah, we're stronger together. My mom got me some Manscaped stuff for Christmas. Or Crimbus, and it came with a PETA sticker that I put on my e-bike battery so everybody can see while I'm riding around town. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, cycling is just very normal here in the Netherlands. It's our primary mode of transportation. But yeah. That might be the difference from the US. Yeah, I think here leftists are a bit more consistent, although of course not all of them are. You can see the video that I made interviewing people at the climate march in Amsterdam like a couple months ago, asking people, hey, veganism is the easiest thing that you can do to help the climate. Some people are not as consistent or not as open to it. But that's usually not the university students. That's usually not the younger people. It's usually the older people. But yeah. I wish the US didn't hate bikers and cyclists. Yeah, they don't have the infrastructure for it, unfortunately. So I was thinking maybe I can find like a quiz or something that we can do together. It would be fun. Yeah, so you can go on this website and read about it more. The co-founder of Plant-Based Universities is Nathan McGovern. You see him in this picture here. And he basically did that one interview with Piers Morgan where he did the vegan bingo thing. That was him. And that's how I knew him, which is really funny. He's a really cool guy and he's really passionate about what he's doing. Very effective strategic thinker. I'm going to a Plant-Based University's training weekend on the 5th to the 7th of January. So this weekend. And yeah, so it's mostly going to be, I think it's going to be like media training. It's going to be like leadership training. It's mostly for the coordinators for every campaign. I'm the coordinator for my own campaign. And yeah, I'm going to learn a lot of stuff. Going to meet a lot of people. It's going to be very exciting. Oh, you're a former student. It's an ag-focused uni, so lots of pro-animal ag donors that would probably withdraw support if they don't like what the uni does. Yeah, that makes sense. unfortunately. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe I can find a quiz. Maybe or maybe not. Oh, you think you'll get Utrecht to switch? I think some at some point. Yeah, I don't know how long it will take. I am I've like internally, like mentally, I've kind of committed to 2 years of campaigning. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna be a student for a while still, so I have enough time. I think I'm still gonna be studying for like 3 years. 3 years. So yeah, have enough time to get this done. I hope so, and to build up a stronger team. We currently have a team of about 15 people actively working for the campaign. Um, so yeah, next month. It's gonna be next month. That's so fast. Fuck, I still have a lot to do. And I'm just wasting my time streaming with you guys. Oh my god. Let's see. Maybe I can find a fun New Year's quiz or 2024 quiz. I don't know. Oh my god. BuzzFeed. Do you guys remember BuzzFeed? BuzzFeed. It's okay, we're gonna do this quiz. Sure, we're gonna do this quiz. um, if you want to know how your 2024 will go, this AI quiz has got your back, or at least it'll give a good guess. All right. What's my first name? My first name is Christina. What? Oh, and what do you most want to change in 2024? We got my love life, my job, my social life, my study habits, my discipline, or my budgeting. My wish for 2024 is for animals to stop being exploited and enslaved and killed, but that's not one of these options. So, what do I want to change? My study habits, my discipline. I feel like maybe my discipline. I feel like I still spend way too much time just scrolling through YouTube and like shorts. Yeah, I wish for the world to change. But that's not one of the options. So which one should I choose? No, not BuzzFeed. Yeah, I know it's a terrible site. But you guys, you get to choose for me. I don't really have a preference. You're budgeting? Are you bad with money? Feel like I'm doing okay financially. I'm getting by. I just quit my last job. I'm getting a new job hopefully at a vegan restaurant. So that's gonna be fun. And then basically every area of my life except university will be dedicated to veganism. So that's a lot. No, life is too short. Social life or love life. Well, my social life is pretty good. My love life is not. I got broken up with pretty badly 2 months ago. And that sucked. So let's say love life. I'm not currently really looking for someone because I'm just very busy with everything and activism and stuff. So, you know, and I have enough time. I'm 20, I have enough time to find a partner and someone who genuinely respects and appreciates me. Surely there's someone out there, of course. So let's say love life. What would you like to stay the same? My friends, my love life, my job, my hobbies, my personality, or my pet? Interesting. I mean, my friends, I have pretty solid friends right now. I have a very solid social circle, support circle. Yeah. Discipline. Yeah, I also struggle with discipline, but only when it comes to like studies. Like studying, like I have a lot of discipline when it comes to activism, when it comes to like planning this whole plant-based universities campaign, but not in like university and stuff. So that is a problem. Yeah, 2024 manifesting. That's what we're doing. Manifesting. It's the law of attraction, you guys. Oh my god. I've never had a love life, but I'm not that curious either. Well, yeah. Everyone has their thing. Go love life again. Love life. Well, do I love my life? That's a good question. I mean, I like my life. I like it way more than the way it was like even 1 or 2 years ago. Like 1 year ago, I went through a burnout like a year ago. Um, so I'm doing way better actually. So yeah, now that I think about it, this whole year has been crazy. So I joined the Vegan Student Association in my city in like December 2022 or like January this year. No, not this year, sorry, 2023. That's last year. Fuck. But so I joined about a year ago. Then for the first time I found myself surrounded um by only vegan people, and it was amazing. And then because I was going through a burnout, I was like, I need more meaning in my life and I want to fight for the animals. So I started doing activism with several organizations. And then after like 2 or 3 months, like 3 or 4 months of doing activism, I decided to start my own chapter of We the Free in Utrecht. So now I'm an organizer. I was an organizer at 19 after only doing activism for a couple months. Like that's pretty crazy if you think about it. And yeah, then a couple months after that, I found plant-based universities and decided to start a campaign because why not? And then um, also became a board member. I'm in the board now for the Vegan Student Association here. So I'm doing so many things. And I have a job and I'm studying and all these things. So that's crazy. Very busy. Maybe I don't have time for a relationship. That's I mean if I love someone, I'll always make time, obviously. And I have lively social life. So there's enough free time. You can shuffle things around. I haven't been in a committed relationship in 6 years voluntarily. Well, good for you. If that's what you want, good for you. You need someone to hold the camera for you. In outreach? I mean, right now we only I use Chip's camera, so Vegan Power Lab. When we do outreach together, we just we can turn on the camera on the tripod and record ourselves. But I don't really feel like getting a dedicated camera person. I don't know. Okay, so this question was, what would you like to stay the same this year? So I'm gonna say my friends, because my friends are very nice. How different to 2023 do you want your 2024 to be? Very different, a bit different, about the same, or identical. So there's a lot of things that I want to change, but in my personal life, there's some things that I want to change. Like I want the Plant-Based University's campaign to be a success. I want to do more activism, more effective activism. Those are kind of my goals, but really I want to just continue on the trajectory that I've already been going on for the past year. So I would say a bit different. What are you guys saying? I'm old and bitter. Whatever you guys do, don't take relationship advice from me. No, I'm not going to. No thanks. Sorry. That sounds a bit rude, but yeah. What's your best trait? I'm really funny. I'm very thoughtful. I'm incredibly determined. I'm loyal as fuck. I'm creative, or I'm a good friend. What this quiz is going to tell you what next year, like what 2024 is going to be like for you. So what is my best trait? I do think I'm quite thoughtful, but sometimes I'm also forgetful. I'm determined in certain areas of my life. I am loyal to the people I love and care for. My creativity is not as good as it used to be, and I do think I'm a good friend. Am I funny? I don't think that's my call to make. I think other people can decide that for me. I think I would say in between these two. Am I more thoughtful than I am determined, or more determined than I am thoughtful? Yeah, I would say thoughtful. Let's say that. Which word best describes your 2023? Which word best describes your 2023? Like hectic, chaotic? Like if you look back at the past year, so much has happened. I don't know. What's one word that can encapsulate that feeling of like a lot happened and it was like chaotic, but ultimately good? Like chaotic good? Chaotic good. Based No, I don't think based is the word that I'm looking for. Interesting. Yeah, that's also a good one. Which word? Hectic, chaotic, interesting. Um, Pandemonium. Intense. Intense could be a good one. Mm, it was intense. In many ways, it was intense. I think there was also a lot of new experiences. Tumultuous. Yeah, I'm gonna go with tumultuous. Tumultuous pretty much describes it. Tumultuous. And which word do you want to describe your 2024? Like on a positive trajectory, successful, um, fun. Um, God, what are some positive, like I don't know, joyful, successful, optimistic? Um, why are you laughing? um, yeah, I was thinking successful, but that's like a very, I feel like that's a very broad word. Pretty awesome. That's 2 words. That's 2 words. I think I'll fill in successful. That's the only thing that's really sticking out to me right now. I think you spell it with 2 S's? Fuck, I forgot how to spell successful. Uh, successful. How do you spell successful? Yeah, with okay, I spelled it correctly. I spelled it correctly. Um, what's your worst trait? Okay, I'm impatient. I get annoyed easily. I'm a bit lazy. I forget to stay in contact with people. I'm forgetful in general, or I hold on to grudges. I'm impatient in certain situations, but generally, especially in relationships, I'm too patient with people, and I'm admitting that very honestly. Um, that sometimes I don't really stand up for my own needs and desires. So, sorry, this is something I'm working on in therapy. So, let's see. I'm impatient. No. I get annoyed easily. Also, no. I'm a bit lazy sometimes with certain things. Yeah. I forget to stay in contact with people. Not really. I'm forgetful in general sometimes, and I don't hold on to grudges. So I think the worst thing, I think I would say I'm a bit lazy. I'm sometimes a bit lazy. Or well, I with the whole list of things that I'm doing this year, I don't think I can even say that I'm lazy. Like only when it comes to university stuff, I'm lazy. With everything else, I'm not. Yeah, short attention span. Uh, let's say yeah. Sometimes I forget things, but like yeah, fine. Okay, I'll say forgetful then. I'm done. The quiz is done. The AI is calculating or whatever what my future holds. This crystal ball is seeing into the year ahead. Let us see. Let us see. Reveal your results. Christina's 2024 prediction. In 2024, Christina will carefully prioritize her love life and put more effort into building fulfilling relationships. That's not what I said, but okay. While striving for success, Christina's thoughtfulness will shine through, making her reliable and supportive partner to her friends. Despite occasional forgetfulness, the year will bring positive changes and a sense of achievement. Well, this is basically just a fill in the blank. This is like I could have written this text based on those questions. That's crazy. Dude, this AI is bullshit. Let's ask ChatGPT. Fucking ChatGPT. Predict my future. Okay, what do we input? Okay. Um or let's say like generally. Um what do you think the future or like the year, what do you think the year 2024 holds for the animal rights movement, and veganism in general. Be specific. I'm gonna add, be specific. Anything I should add to this prompt? Yeah, no, thanks for nothing, BuzzFeed. My worst trait is never having enough corn. Never enough corn. Oh no, the love life manifesting was too powerful. Yeah, fuck, I wish. Um, anything else I should add to this prompt? What do you guys think? Is this good enough? Do I need to have more specifics in there? No? Yes? Do you think you'll be programmed in the future to not be species? Maybe. I don't think I'm adding that though. That could be a follow-up question. Yeah. Oh, Mike's gotta hit the road. Go deliver those groceries. Come on. Good luck. And thank you for being here. Will dog meat overtake pork in the future? Like, guys, serious questions. Serious questions. Okay, I'll ask this question. We'll see what we get. Okay. Oh, okay. It's writing a whole thing out. Damn. Okay, we start from the beginning. I don't have real-time information, so I can't predict specific events or developments for the year 2024. However, as of my last knowledge update in January 2022, I can offer some general trends and possibilities based on the existing trajectory of the animal rights movement and veganism. Increasing awareness and advocacy. The global trend, increased awareness of animal rights issues and the environmental impact of animal agriculture may continue. Okay, so that's, yeah, very vague. Technological advancements in alternative proteins will continue. Policy changes related to animal welfare and factory farming practices will be implemented. A push for more ethical and sustainable food production makes sense. Corporate initiatives. More companies might embrace sustainability and ethical practices. Fucking hope so. Cultural shifts. Changing societal attitudes towards animals and environment may lead to cultural shifts that favor plant-based diets. Also, fucking hope so. Challenges and controversies. The animal rights movement may face challenges and controversies, including debates about the ethics of certain practices within the movement itself. So, like infighting. Okay, thank you for predicting that. Issues like lab-grown meat, genetic modification, and the definition of ethical farming. No, not ethical. We're not fighting about the definition of ethical farming because there is no ethical farming. Dude. Okay. Remember that these are general trends and possibilities, and the actual developments in 2024 may vary. The future of the animal rights movement and veganism is influenced by a complex interplay of factors, including societal attitudes, technological advancements, and policy changes. Well, we already knew that. Let's ask this question. Do you think you'll be programmed in the future to be speciesist? To not be speciesist? Do you think you will be reprogrammed in the future to not be speciesist? Question mark. Ooh, let's see. Addressing potential biases, including speciesism in AI models, is a continuous area of research and improvement. Developers strive to enhance the fairness, inclusivity, and ethical considerations of AI systems. As AI technology evolves, there may be efforts to reduce or eliminate biases, including those related to how information is presented regarding different species. It's essential for developers and researchers to be mindful of potential biases and to work towards creating AI systems that are as fair, unbiased, and respectful as possible. However, the specifics of any changes or updates to AI models would depend on the decisions and priorities of the organizations behind their development. Well, I could have answered that myself. Let's see. It usually refuses to answer questions about dog meat. Maybe it will. Dodging. That was a yes or no question. Yep. I'm gonna keep asking this. It's a yes or no question. Are you leaning more towards yes or towards no? Come on. I can't lean towards a yes or no with certainty regarding future changes. Oh, fuck you, ChatGPT. Come on. Oh, bye, Jeremy. Thank you for being around. Go have a good walk with your mom. Can you ask about animal ethics stuff? Maybe you guys already have, but I haven't yet. What should I ask? Formulate a question for me. I will ask it. And that was my first question. Was meant to be about that as well, but it is blatant speciesism. Yeah. Yeah. See you all this year. This year, this time, not next year. This year. Hmm. Come on, guys. Questions. What questions should I ask? Should I ask? What questions should I ask? Looks good. You can add on afterwards. Add on what? By the way, I saw this option for like background music on here. I want to try that. Let's see. We got a dance pop music. Do you guys hear this? This is dance music, guys. How soon do you think all universities will be plant-based? Great question. I'm gonna ask that. Just about whether general things are immoral or if there is a moral difference between doing things to different animals. Interesting. Other YouTubers have done that before. This music is annoying. What else do we have? Daydreaming. It's very like a chill lo-fi kind of vibe. I hope you guys can hear this, otherwise I'm just dancing like a weirdo. So that's daydreaming. This is feeding the ducks. To me, this doesn't sound like feeding the ducks sounds like. Alright, we're quitting the music, I guess. Ask about what the best method is to teach people about veganism. Is this all YouTube waiting music? This is from StreamYard itself. So I was just trying stuff out. But I'm gonna ask this question. How soon do you think all universities will go plant-based as a result of their own climate research? Let's see. Okay. This is like the same list of things that they... Oh, God, this is stupid. Several universities and institutions have already taken steps to incorporate more plant-based options in their cafeterias and promote sustainability. However, a complete shift to being entirely plant-based may take time and involve a combination of factors. Like we know. Let's say I'm going to ask them. If you had to pick a year, when do you think universities would go plant-based? So come on. Do you think it will happen within this Not decade, but what's the next one? Age? Not like 100 years. What's 100 years? I forgot the word for 100 years. Decennium? No, not decennium. Century. Within this century. Oh my god, ChatGPT my ass. Dude, you're not answering any questions. Feeding the ducks to this would be a vibe. Okay, I'll put on feeding the ducks. Let's see, feeding the ducks. This is feeding the ducks. I hope the volume is about right. Yeah, century, thank you. Hi, perpetually annoyed. Good to see you. It's the first time you're at one of my streams. We're just vibing to this elevator music and asking ChatGPT some questions. Alright. So, ChatGPT refusing to answer what year universities will go plant-based because it's useless, apparently. Okay, what else can we ask? Okay, what the best method is to teach people about veganism? Okay. What is the most effective method? Well, to teach people about veganism or to actually get animal rights legislation. What is the most effective method for societal and systemic change when it comes to implementing animal rights in society, i.e., the right to life and the right to bodily autonomy? Question mark. Okay, we got some answers. 10 points, dude. Promoting animal rights and affecting systemic change involves a multifaceted approach. We know this. Public awareness and education. Raise awareness, outreach, whatever. We know this. Then advocacy and lobbying. Support and engage with organizations that actively lobby for animal rights at the legislative level. So this is what Pro-Veg International is doing. So that's something we're already actively engaging in. Advocate for the creation and enforcement of laws and regulations that protect animals from cruelty and exploitation. So technically this would include animal welfare laws because it mentions cruelty as well as exploitation. Corporate engagement. Encourage businesses to adopt animal-friendly policies and practices. Support and promote companies that prioritize animal welfare in their supply chains. Okay. Work towards legal changes that recognize and protect the rights of animals. Alternative industries, support industries. Yeah, we know this. Celebrity and influencer endorsement. Makes sense. Community engagement. Also, okay, participate in local events, workshops, and outreach programs to educate the public. Media influence. Utilize media platforms, including social media. That's what I'm doing right now. Academic research. Support and conduct research that highlights the ethical and environmental implications of animal exploitation. Encourage academic institutions to integrate animal ethics into relevant curricula. Yeah, so that's kind of what's happening with plant-based universities in a different way. Consumer choices. Advocate for informed and ethical consumer choices. So, like, 4 of these points are the same thing, but I could have come up with this myself. Thank you so much, ChatGPT, for nothing. Where are we? Ask it what best music to feed the ducks to is. I'll do that. My friend Jenny McQueen asked AI some pointed questions. Okay, good. Good, because this is not doing anything interesting, really. When do you think the singularity will happen? I don't really remember what the singularity was. I heard about it before, but I don't know exactly what it is. Okay, we got some good questions in the chat, so we're gonna ask first this one. What is the best music? What is the best music to feed ducks to? Oh, that's so sweet. This is a genuine answer. Ducks may enjoy a peaceful and natural environment, so choosing that complements that setting can enhance the experience. Some examples that might be suitable for feeding ducks: classical music. Gentle classical music, such as Debussy's Clair de Lune or Vivaldi's Spring, can create a serene atmosphere. Those are like the most obvious choices you could have picked, aside from like the Moonlight Sonata. Nature sounds. Consider playing recordings of calming nature sounds, like flowing water, birdsong, or gentle wind. This can blend well with the duck's environment, because the duck's environment is already nature sounds. ChatGPT. Folk or acoustic music. Artists like Jack Johnson and Iron and Wine might provide a pleasant backdrop. Do you guys know these artists? Because I don't. Instrumental jazz. Smooth and instrumental jazz, like the works of Miles Davis and Chet Baker. Really? Interesting. Ducks like jazz, apparently. That's my next question. Do ducks like jazz? Ducks, like many animals, don't have the same appreciation for music as humans do. They may not respond to music in the same way we do, as their auditory preferences and sensitivities are different. Cool. Okay, that said, if you enjoy listening to jazz while spending time with ducks, there's no harm in doing so. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Thank you. Thank you. Dogs are adaptable and can get used to various sounds as long as this music is not too loud or disruptive. Just ensure that the overall environment is calm and peaceful to avoid causing any stress to the ducks. Well, thank you. That really helped. Oh, that's when AI becomes sentient. Yeah, this is very random, isn't it? I don't know them. Okay, before this question, I'm gonna ask it, do ducks like Taylor Swift? I don't know if you know, but I'm a Taylor Swift fan. Okay, ducks are more tuned to natural sounds. That said, if you enjoy Taylor Swift's music and want to listen to it while spending time with ducks, you can certainly do so. So it's the same answer as with jazz. But do ducks prefer jazz over Taylor Swift? Come on. If you're curious about whether ducks prefer jazz over Taylor Swift or vice versa, you could try observing their behavior in different musical settings. This is research. We need to do this research. Do ducks like jazz or Taylor Swift? Like, we need to know. This is important information. We need to know. We need to know this. In general, when playing music around ducks, it's crucial to ensure that the volume is at a level that doesn't cause stress or discomfort. Yeah, that makes sense. Parrots love to dance and headbang to music. I've seen clips of that. It's really funny. Vivaldi in a duck setting is a nice idea because the ducks could enjoy it and the humans can appreciate the season's context. Yeah. No testing on animals. This is harmless. This is harmless. Well, unless either jazz or Taylor Swift causes them emotional distress. I really hope not. Sure. I'm gonna ask this question. When do you think... It's probably not gonna answer, by the way, but when do you think the singularity will happen? Factors that could influence the timing of a singularity, if it were to happen, include advancements in artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnology, and other emerging technologies. It's important to note that the idea of a singularity is a matter of speculation and debate rather than well-established scientific prediction, so a non-answer, basically. God. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Oh, guys. Are you tired? Are you done? We've gone for 2.5 hours. I'm not going for 4 hours and 20 minutes anymore like I did the first stream I did. That was too long. But this is like, I feel like this is a good length. We had some fun. We had some interesting conversations. You know, we have, do you guys feel like you have a more positive, optimistic outlook for this year? Because that was my goal for this stream. You know? Do you feel like you feel positive? You feel optimistic? Let me know. Let me know. Stuffed animals doing great back there. Let me know. It doesn't know who I am because it stopped gathering information in 2022. I started my YouTube channel in 2023, so it's not gonna know who I am. What's my fandom? It's called Vegans. Just Vegans. Because then I can say all vegans are my fans. No, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't think I need a fandom name. I'm not a pop star or anything. Yes, 2024 will be banging. Yes. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. Otherwise we can do like a rant stream at the end of the year being like, oh, this year sucked ass, but we can like gather as a community together and complain about stuff, because that's really a form of kinship, complaining about stuff together. The Dutch are really good at this. That's the only things we can agree on is that complaining is fun to do. The positive stuff about animals was depressing in the end. Yeah, I did not expect that to happen. I should have, though. It's like there's a positive and a negative side of the coin. The Van Beeks? I mean, sure, if you want to call yourself a Van Beek, a beaker. You want to call yourself a beaker? I guess, if you want to, you can. No one is stopping you. Oh. How are my beakers? Isn't Beaker that, like, fuck. That guy from, was it Sesame Street? Yeah! Oh my god. I totally forgot about him. Wait, I'm turning down the music. Yeah, oh, it's not Sesame Street, sorry, the Muppets. He's that guy that goes meep, 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 or whatever. Oh, he's so funny. Okay, guys, we're gonna stream that. I'm gonna stream that. You guys want to call yourself the Beakers? Oh my gosh. And beakers are also lab equipment. Yeah, that is true. Let's see. This is his ode to joy. It's a good way to end the stream with an ode to joy. Oh, sorry. I don't know if my voice is in tune or not. God, the harmonies, guys. The harmonies. The official Beakers things. Oh god. Yeah, so don't electrocute yourself. Beaker's rule number 1, don't electrocute yourself. But such a selfish song. Yeah, it's just me. Me. That should be your new emoji. New emoji? How? What do you mean? Have a good one, y'all. Yeah. So this is a good time to end the stream. Thank you guys for watching. It was a nice time. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.